Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
EcoBank.
President John Dramani Mahama leads government officials on a wreath-laying ceremony at the Jubilee House in honor of the military helicopter crash victims.
Meanwhile, the remains of the victims of the tragic helicopter crash have been flown to South Africa for further forensic and DNA analysis.
Joint military and police anti-illegal mining task force led by the Bono Regional Minister shut down a notorious Galamsey settlement at Subu Chrome in the Banda district of the Bono region.
And later in business, Cuts International calls for further deliberation between the NCA and MultiChoice to reach a win-win solution to safeguard interests of DSTV subscribers.
And in news from elsewhere, 6 people have been killed after a light aircraft belonging to a medical charity crashed in Kenya's capital, Nairobi.
We are live around the world on 3news.com. Do let us know what you make of the many stories we have for you tonight.
The presidency has held a solemn wreath-laying and candlelight ceremony at the ceremonial gardens of Jubilee House to honor the 8 individuals who died in Wednesday's tragic military helicopter crash in the Adansi-Krofrom district of the Ashanti region. The ceremony formed part of a 3-day national mourning period declared by the government to honor the memory of the deceased.
An emotional moment, 24 hours, that has sent all government officials grieving. Thank you. An emotionally distraught Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, could not hold back his emotions. President John Mahama, drenched in sadness, laid the first flower at the ceremonial launch of the Jubilee House. Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman followed shortly thereafter. Next was the Chief of Staff. The National Chairman of the NDC was the next, followed by the National Security Coordinator and heads of agencies. The state funeral and burial arrangement are expected to be announced in the coming days after the 3 days of national mourning. Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed died alongside Defense Minister Dr. Edward Omani-Boama and 6 others when the Ghana Armed Forces aircraft crashed in the Ashanti region. The incident has triggered a series of national mourning gestures. Moments of grieving and questions are emerging.
Painful, confusing. Sometimes you ask, where is our God? We just need to learn how to love each other, learn how to work together. This NDC MPP is becoming too much.
Very unfortunate that this has had to happen. We can only pray that God grants them eternal rest and God helps their families, especially their parents, their children, their spouses, to find eternal peace. Because this is devastating. Nobody expects to go. We know we'll all die, but this is not the kind of death anybody wishes for. And the challenge and difficulty is that it could have been any of us.
I think at this time it's just important that we as a diplomatic community just come and express our condolences on behalf of, for me, on behalf of His Majesty the King, on this terrible tragedy for Ghana. We've lost 8 amazing public servants who have given their life's work to Ghana. And at this time, we're just thinking about their friends and their family, and you can see clearly how upset the President was today. So we just want to kind of express our thoughts and our prayers and our best wishes to the people of Ghana.
How rigorous and intense should this investigation be?
Rigorous, it must be.
because some of us, our heads are not cleared yet. We have all kinds of things running through our heads, even though it's going to be a bit difficult for us to put them out. But the suspicions are too many in my head. But as I said, I have no evidence to prove anything. And so I'll leave that to myself and allow the investigations to take place. But I think we should not wash this away. We should not let it pass as one of those things that happens. How do we call it? Kind of thing. It shouldn't be so.
As flags fly at half-mast, the 3 days of mourning is expected to be climaxed by a night of reflections and memorials to be held at the forecourt of the State House. Komla Kluche, TV3 News, Jubilee House, Accra.
Members of Parliament and government officials could not hold their tears on Thursday when they visited families of the 8 men who perished in a tragic helicopter crash on Wednesday. Books of condolence have been opened at the residence of Dr. Murtala Mohammed and Dr. Omane Boama, where hundreds of family members and loved ones continue to mourn in ruthless pain. Christian Yali reports.
Of Parliament, especially from the majority caucus, on Thursday thronged the house of Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed as well as the house of Dr. Edward Kofi Omane Boama to condole with the family and to share in their pain. Many who had gathered bowed in pain, tears flowed, and low spirit hanged all over the place.
Presidency has started investigating as to how the whole thing happened. We pray that whatever will come out of the investigation will be a lesson to Ghana. A lesson to Ghana so that this will not hit this country again.
I always ask this question, when will death come out one day and say, today I'm satisfied, I won't eat again? Death have eaten too much of our people.
It is quite unfortunate. Since yesterday, I have not been of myself. Come to think of the way he's lost his life, working for the country, for God and country, and having to experience this. The news is very devastating.
The Member of Parliament for Tamale North, Al-Hassan Suhini, in behalf of the family, welcomed his colleagues to the House and ushered them inside to even have a word or two with the widow left behind.
Regarding the passing of Murtala, 2 weeks ago he passed a message to my PA. He was on a flight with him, and I was waiting to see him on Friday before Parliament went on recess. Unfortunately, I was on a committee work, and so I couldn't come to Parliament before the sitting was adjourned. I'm looking for my brother to give him the response. Where can I find him?
When Allah creates life, He creates death as well. This is how Murtala was destined to leave the world. We pray that Allah accepts his soul in Jannah.
They died fighting to stop a cause which is Galamsey. Shouldn't this be enough wake up to all those who are involved in that business that enough is enough?
Murtala was one of its kind in Parliament, very knowledgeable and intelligent. And so we just pray that God Almighty find a place in his bosom. He gives and he takes. We cannot question him so much.
For his part, the former finance minister and MP for Karaga, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, called for a comprehensive parliamentary probe into the incident.
I would like to propose that there is a comprehensive parliamentary inquiry into this accident. It's a major accident. Ghana is not the same with the passing of these great men of our country. We can't let it just pass.
The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dominic Ayini, also visited the house of Dr. Murtala Mohammed, where a book of condolence has already been opened. He signed it.
God, this is really very difficult. You know, in our politics, integrity is a very rare commodity. But this young man had it all. He loved this country. He loved
the NDC, as a political tradition, he spoke true to power. And that is what we need.
If the murder of Major Muhammad didn't get us to stop Galamsey in our country, the tragic loss of these 8 gallant, patriotic men should help us bring a finality, to the destruction of our water bodies, of our forest reserves.
Indeed, it is painful. Words are ineffable to describe such a loss, a national tragedy. And as the president has declared a 3-day national mourning, it is expected that all would pay their respect to the departed souls. Christian Yale, TV3 News, Accra.
Also, the Ashanti Regional Minister has assured the families of the late Samuel Sapong and Samuel Abuaje that the government will give their loved ones a befitting burial to honor their memory. The 2 men were among 8 victims who lost their lives in that tragic helicopter crash.
The nation is in mourning following the devastating helicopter crash that claimed 8 lives on Wednesday, April 6. At the home of Samuel Sapong, former Ashanti Regional Minister and Vice Chairman of the ruling National Democratic Congress, family, friends and sympathizers gathered to console one another. A similar somber atmosphere enveloped the residence of Samuel Abuaje, a deputy director of NADMO, as loved ones struggled to come to terms with the loss. Ashanti Regional Minister Dr. Franka Mwakwene, accompanied by government officials and party executives, visited both families to offer condolences and support.
The president said, "Yama Abushani who say, Omano, and I'm cloning more any security services, any party in modern morning, Omani na honorable Sam Wabadika Hono, Omuna one ho. Na Omaya Jumana no more, and na BBC Ababis. Nti yanse mo se otabochi se oma busuane nko a eni ya ono ko ya ne bamom o ya modehye ntutuye bia ya bebo abusua mane yi no mo beye bia no na mama yahu ni ama president so aswati said ye be ya ibi e wo so no so ye ni yetimi bua na aboade achi no e ya ade e be ade a ede animonyam shebeba no. President so
While extending his condolences to the government and bereaved families, leader and founder of Action People's Party, Kenneth Nana Kwame, emphasized that the life lost should not be in vain.
In fact, it was very worrisome that something that we never expected it. We have doctors among them, ministers of state. What are we going to do to stop these galamseers? That is why the president of the nation should use this opportunity to declare state of emergency immediately, at least for the people the president sent yesterday.
Meanwhile, a search to retrieve the black box in the crash helicopter to assist with investigation has been successful. The device, which contains vital flight data and cockpit voice recordings, is expected to provide crucial insight into the cause of the accident. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Ashanti Region.
Black magic. Now, hundreds of mourners, including top government officials, some members of parliament and traditional authorities in the northern region, have visited the family house of late Tamale Central Member of Parliament, Dr. Murtala Mohammed, to commiserate with the bereaved family. His former colleague and Member of Parliament for Bolga Central constituency, Isaac Adongo, while signing a book of condolence at his family house in Tamale, described the late Member of Parliament for Tamale Central as an honest person who frowned on corruption and will never take what he does for granted. He emphasized that Parliament has lost one of its finest brains who contributed meaningfully during debates and bill considerations. And those are some of the visuals on your screens earlier today when the government delegation and members of Parliament and other government officials went to Dr. Murtala Mohammed's residence in Tamale, where he hails from, and a place where he is a Member of Parliament, Tamale Central specifically. Let's speak to our correspondent now, who is Christopher Mwako. He's been following all the developments there. He's joined us for a quick chat. Chris, good evening and thank you for joining us. So, I mean, we know that earlier you reported about what had gone on. Beyond that, what else can you tell us about developments in the family house?
Yes, Martin, I must say that the family are still grieving over the unfortunate demise of Honorable Murtala Mohammed, because, like I reported since morning, that he's someone that the entire constituency and northern region, to be precise, look up to when it comes to developmental drive in the northern region. He's one person that they have touted to be an open person who is easily approachable. And once you get to Honorable Murtala and you tell him that these are some of the concerns or challenges that you think he should intervene and address, he will promptly respond to those challenges and ensure that they are addressed. That is if they are within his means or reach. Now, beyond what we have reported earlier today, what we do know is that the people of Northern Ghana are still waiting for government final conclusion on the burial of Honorable Murtala and others. But their concern is Honorable Murtala, of course, because they are saying that in line with Islamic custom and tradition, even though the delay in burying the dead is not something that is outside Islam, because the argument they have raised is that even the Holy Prophet Muhammad died on a Monday and was buried on a Wednesday because of circumstances. And so they are waiting for government to finalize its investigation and hoping to see that the body will be handed over to them for burial. But the Member of Parliament for Bolgatanga Central, Isaac Adongo, was at the family house and described the late colleague as someone who was very honest and respected everybody in the house. And he believes that Honorable Murtala will go to heaven. Let's take a listen to what he's been saying.
This is the fact that everybody looked forward to the debates. Anytime we had to debate, particularly on the budget or national issues, we always look forward to his debate because he was one of our main debaters in the House. And he never lost a debate because of his level of intellect, his ability to speak to common sense. So we will miss that a lot. But beyond that, beyond the house of the house, you would find him on radio or TV, and you will love to stop and listen to him, because by the time you leave listening to him, you've learned a thing or two. That has been taken away from us, and I think.
Yeah, so that's the voice of Isaac Adongo, who is MP for Bolga Central, ending that report by Christopher Mwako, our Northern Regional Correspondent. Thank you, Christopher.
Meanwhile, samples of the remains of the 8 victims who died in the crash on Wednesday have been flown to South Africa for DNA analysis to help identify each of the bodies for befitting burial. The head of forensic analysis at the Criminal Investigations Department is leading the delegation to South Africa for the forensic analysis. Godwin Asidiba has more.
From the Jubilee Lounge of the Kotoka International Airport here in Accra, in front of me, you can see scenes filled with grief. Jata private jet has arranged this transportation for the mortal remains of the 8 victims who were involved in the tragic Z9 military helicopter crash that occurred yesterday in the dense forest of the Adanse Krofrom in the Ashanti region, where all of this happened. It's a movement that has brought the entire nation to a standstill. This evening, we have been told that the charge remains. Samples of them, of the deceased bent beyond recognition, are being flown to South Africa for urgent DNA testing. It is the only way, as it stands, to confirm the exact identities of those on board this aircraft that has led us to this rather unfortunate news. The remains are being flown out on the Jatta private jet, and we'll continue to follow this developing story and provide updates on the results of the DNA testing and upcoming funeral arrangements as well. But for now, from here at the Jubilee Lounge, it is a moment of reflection and a call for national unity in the face of profound grief.
To speed up the investigation, obviously we need to do further examination and investigation just for the awareness of doubt. And some of the forensic that needs to be done, taking samples have to be done outside the country. So that's why we are trying to fast track, and you see all that. We know that this evening the President will address the country and the world, so we hope that we will all be patient and wait for the President's address. But I want to thank the families sincerely for all the cooperation that we've had from them.
Who is leading the team to South Africa?
Our forensic, the head of forensic at the police, CID. In the next 6-12 hours, they will be able to give us some of the results.
Honorable Minister of Health, a lot of people have been asking questions why this test wasn't done here in the country.
Well, even if anything at all is done in the country, sometimes we may require further confirmation outside the country. And so that's exactly what we are doing at the moment.
So how swift is this expected to be done?
Well, it is our prayers that it is done as soon as possible.
And you can clearly see the jet taking off now. And just as the plane is moving smoothly and would soon be in the skies, with pieces of souls of these 8 individuals who would soon be arriving in South Africa. We have our fingers crossed here in the country as well, awaiting for news as soon as possible. My name is Godwin Asiedu-Dartey.
All right, so just to reiterate that the President of the Republic will be addressing the country around 9 p.m. So do make a date and stay with TV3. We'll definitely bring you that feed so you all get to know, many are expecting to hear from the Commander-in-Chief about this unfortunate development. Still on it, though, organized labor has expressed deep sorrow over the loss of 8 persons in the unfortunate helicopter crash. In a strongly worded statement, the leadership called for the immediate grounding and comprehensive assessment of all military helicopters. Meanwhile, organized labor has also called for a declaration of a state of emergency on Galamsey, or the nation risks losing more lives.
Secretary General of TUC, Joshua Ansa, says investigations must be thorough and transparent to restore public confidence in military aviation safety. He was also concerned about the Galamsey menace.
This issue about Galamsey indirectly has already started killing us. Had it not been this Galamsey, I wouldn't think that these ministers would be traveling to Obuasi yesterday. So it's a call for action for all of us to come together and ensure that we nip this Galamsey menace to the nip. We are all aware of what is happening to the presidential jet. It is time for us to call a spade a spade. Let's ground this plane and buy a new one for our president. If you buy it for the president, it's not for NDC, it's not for MPP, it's for the country. Their safety is very, very, very important.
President of Unagrat, Nji Kabonu, who emphasized the urgent need to reassess all aircraft used for official duties.
Especially where we procure them, for whether we are procuring the right ones, whether servicing is being done at the right time, timeously, regularly. You see, sometimes we are people who sometimes, you let me go and come and we'll do it. It flew yesterday, it can fly today. If the schedule review work or review repairs is supposed to be every 2 months, do we regularly follow that every 2 months review? And maybe we need to reassess these choppers and see whether they are fit for purpose.
And now a joint military and police anti-illegal mining task force led by the Bono Regional Minister Joseph Addai Akwabwa has shut down a notorious Galamsey settlement known as Operator at Subukrom in the Banda district. The operation lasted for more than 10 hours, where security forces seized mining equipment, demolished and burned structures housing over 2,000 illegal miners, and also arrested some suspects. Our correspondent Claude Kumibisa brings us the details.
The crackdown, led by the Bono Regional Minister Joseph Adai Akwabua, with over 100 security personnel comprising the 3rd Infantry Battalion of the Ghana Armed Forces and Ghana Police Service, stormed Operator, destroying illegal mining sites and confiscating equipment. During the operation, authorities seized 11 excavators, 16 motorbikes and several tricycles from the miners. Numerous chamfine machines were also destroyed along the Tyne River in a bid to halt the ongoing environmental destruction caused by illegal mining. Bono Regional Minister Joseph Adai Akwabua, who sanctioned the operation, said the effort will not be a one-off intervention.
You could see what we have done. One of the communities is now a dead town because we have burnt everything there. Those structures, we have burnt everything, and we expect that the people will not go back because this operation is not going to be just a day operation. We are going to carry it week by week, so they should advise themselves. And I'm not going to make it so lucrative for those people doing galamsey here, because I'm always going to go after them. I'm going to go after them. And anybody arrested, I will make sure that you are prosecuted.
The minister indicated that a comprehensive report would be submitted to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources for reclamation process.
Land reclamation, we are going to make a report of these operations to the Lands and Natural Resource Minister. He can authorize us to do reclamation. Once that authorization comes, then you will see us. They will give us the modalities, how to go about it and how to do it. And we will follow that instructions.
While the operation targeted illegal miners, some local businesses were also affected. Abiba, a trader and mother of 4 from Techiman, lamented the destruction of her makeshift shop, which she had operated at the site for over 5 years. With authorities taking a firm stance, it is hopeful that sustained efforts will help reclaim the region's natural resources from illegal miners. Claude Kumi Ebisa, TV3 News, Banda.
Still watching News 360 on TV3 now. In a bold move to combat rising fraudulent activities, religious leaders converged on the QNet Anti-Scam Forum in Accra to address the menace. The campaign is aimed at raising awareness about internet scams and deceptive recruitment schemes linked to QNet operations. Joseph Yungti has more.
Internet fraud and fraudulent job recruitment schemes have been on the ascendancy lately. While efforts have been made to combat the rising menace, perpetrators continue to find other ways of defrauding their victims. Speaking at the event, head of global compliance at QNet, Theodosia Nana Korti, said the anti-fraud organization does not condone unethical practices. She called for public awareness, urging citizens to stay informed and report suspicious schemes.
The core objective is to inform people about ways of avoiding being victims of scams. We thought that a program like this, where thousands of pastors are gathered, it will be a fine opportunity to send the message across to the people who are the usual targets of these scams. If it sounds too good to be true, it is indeed too good to be true. When somebody is telling you to pay money before you get a certain international job, when the person is giving you pressure to pay money, so please be vigilant. update somebody about your movement so that people can advise you. This thing, this person is telling you.
That's training for its distributors and deeper collaboration with law enforcement agencies to tackle the menace.
We have a collaboration with Yoko. This collaboration is a 360 campaign we're doing. We are going across all 16 regions of Ghana. We also have collaborations with the Ghana Police where we are helping with investigations. We're also collaborating with the Ghana Immigration Service where we provide information as well. That informed them that we were ready to fight, and so they were ready to collaborate with us.
Still watching News 360 on TV3. Stay with us. We have more for you after the break.
I love President Charcoal. Why? When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste. That's both charcoal and lemon. Oh, does it? Yes. Look right here.
Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has two of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced? Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smells.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal. Pepsodent.
Why are more emotionals choosing flamingo paint?
As an interior decorator, I aim for that beautiful, elegant look. Flamingo paint has great hiding ability to cover and transform old walls easily with just one coat.
Impressive. For me, as a professional painter, I love flamingo paint because it gives small paints a huge area, meaning more profit for me. Great value for money.
As an architect, flamingo paint with its bio-restrictions, solid composition, and its durability for all my buildings.
Flamingo paint, superior height, superior coverage, superior durability.
Reporting from the Takoradi Market Circle.
From the heart of the Upper West Regional Capital.
From the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom.
Reporting from Sinyane.
From the Central Business District of Navrongo.
The parliamentarians are on recess.
This is where it all unfolds. The moments that potentially alters the course of our nation and the world. These are the individuals we recognize, the voices we amplify, who appears on screen and who contributes behind the scenes. With professionalism at our core, we bring you news you can trust, impact journalism that makes a difference. This illustrates how diverse perspectives enhance our strength and reinforces our mission. This is 3 News, leaders in breaking news, exclusive interviews, facts and analysis on TV, radio, online and digital. 3 News, first in news.
Touch concentrated perfume.
Good evening. It's time now for the business segment on News 360, and I am Menu Aful. Regional Director of CATS International, Apiakusi Adomako, is calling for constructive dialogue between the National Communications Authority and MultiChoice Ghana to resolve the current impasse over DSTV pricing. He says while regulatory oversight is essential, any decision must strike a balance that protects consumers without compromising access to vital broadcast services. The call comes in the wake of a 30% price reduction demand by Communications Minister Sam George, who has accused DSTV of overpricing its services in Ghana compared to other markets like Nigeria.
I think that we don't need to allow this issue to lead to suspension of multi-choice license to operate in Ghana. The reason is that Ghana needs multi-choice, and multi-choice also need Ghana's money. Of course, as you may know, about 28% of our subscription fee that we pay on our multi-choice subscription goes in the form of taxes, VAT, National Health Insurance Levy, COVID-19 levy, and Get Fund levy, plus the communication service tax. And so government also gets money from multi-choice operating in Ghana. I think that with this 30-day period that we have, it will be very good for multi-choice to engage with government and come out with a more workable arrangement that benefit both multi-choice and Ghanaians.
Away from that, the business community in Ghana is in shock following the tragic helicopter crash near Obuasi in the Ashanti region, which claimed the lives of 5 government officials and 3 military personnel. The incident has sparked widespread grief and solidarity from key industry groups across the country.
From the Executive Chairman of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, Reverend John Awuni, the incident must unite the nation and prompt seeking God for more in all affairs. Ghana Union of Traders Association also expressed deepest condolences to the families involved, especially the wives and children. The Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, CIMG, called on journalists to exercise ethical judgment, sensitivity and circumspection in their coverage, reaffirming commitment to promoting safety, transparency and sustainability. From the Ghana Chamber of Mines and Mining Community, the absence of the deceased will be profoundly felt by institutions they led and stakeholders promoting sustainable mining. The Abosowokan Spare Parts Dealers Association stand in solidarity with the people of Ghana during this difficult time and pray for peace, comfort and strength for all those affected. The Ashanti Business Owners Association extended heartfelt sympathy to the President and bereaved families, calling for God's protection and guidance. According to Executive Director of the Peasant Farmers, Bismarck Tete Owusu-Norte, the association stands united with the nation in mourning and honoring the unwavering dedication of the deceased to national duty. Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Samson Asaki Awingobet, the tragedy should mark an end to the fight against illegal mining.
We should use this opportunity to unite ourselves as the mourning is pouring all over, and then fight collectively to make sure that this illegal mining galamsey should stop in memory to these late heroes that has befallen and that has made Ghana since yesterday. Ghana went black. Not that we didn't have water at Akosombo, not that Buddha went off, but we have lost national asset, and their love for their country and people is unmatched.
The business community in Ghana is mourning the loss of these key individuals, emphasizing unity, sensitivity, and the need for continued commitment to national development and safety.
Or may their souls rest in perfect peace. Let's now take a look at how the cedi is faring against other trading currencies and how some of our key commodities are faring on the global market. Well, that's it for Business Tonight on News 360. I am Menu Afo. Stay with us. More news comes up next.
Reporting from the Takoradi Market Circle.
From the heart of the Upper West Regional Capital.
From the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom.
Reporting from Sinyane.
From the Central Business District of Navrongo.
The parliamentarians are on recess.
This is where it all unfolds. The moments that potentially alters the course of our nation and the world. These are the individuals we recognize, the voices we amplify, who appears on screen and who contributes behind the scenes. With professionalism at our core, we bring you news you can trust. Impact journalism that makes a difference. This illustrates how diverse perspectives enhance our strength and reinforces our mission. This is 3 News. Leaders in breaking news, exclusive interviews, facts and analysis on TV, radio, online and digital. 3 News, first in news.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360 with me, Oreku Ampofo. Ghana international Thomas Partey has joined La Liga club Villarreal following his release from Arsenal. The 32-year-old who signed for the Gunners and a £45 million deal from Atletico Madrid all the way in 2020 left the club when his contract expired at the end of June. After he was officially announced by Villarreal, the club says that they are aware of the rape allegations against Partey, but the midfielder firmly maintains his innocence.
Villarreal have announced the signing of Ghanaian midfielder Thomas Partey ahead of the 2025-26 season. A 32-year-old previously represented clubs like Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Almeria and Mallorca, winning major trophies including La Liga, the UEFA Europa League and the FA Community Shield. He's also made over 50 caps for Ghana. Villarreal acknowledged that the player is currently involved in legal proceedings in England. The Yellow Submarine added, quote, "The player firmly maintains his innocence and denies all charges against him," end quote. And the club, quote, "respects the fundamental principle of the presumption of innocence," end quote. The Spanish side reiterated that they, quote, "firmly condemn any act of violence in all its forms, including gender-based violence, discrimination, racism, xenophobia, or any behavior that undermines the dignity of individuals." Partey will join up with his new team on Friday at the Villarreal training ground.
More transfer news where former Manchester City forward Aminu Mohammed has signed a one-year deal with Ghana Premier League side Bechem United. Aminu, who joined the English Premier League side from Wafa in 2018 for a reported fee of $2 million after an incredible Under-17 World Cup with the Black Starlets, was released in 2022 after a series of loan spells following a standout World Cup. As I mentioned, Aminu scored 5 goals in 4 games for Wafa during the 2017-2018 Ghana Premier League season and now becomes Bechem's 4th signing this transfer window. Now let's do some more here. We're following a standout 2024-2025 season where Achraf Hakimi won the treble with Paris Saint-Germain. The Moroccan right-back has been nominated by France Football as part of a 30-man shortlist for the 2025 Ballon d'Or, together with Guinea's Sekou Guirassy, who scored 13 goals last season in the Champions League and finished as joint top scorer, and Mohamed Salah, who led Liverpool to the Premier League title last term. The 3 players were the only representatives from Africa for the Ballon d'Or in the male category, while Zambia's Barbara Banda and Malawi's Temwa Chawinga were nominated for the Women's Ballon d'Or. However, despite Africa not having a representative on the podium since 2022, African football expert Omar Akatuba believes Mohamed Salah deserves a podium finish.
Starting with Mo Salah, 29 goals in 38 Premier League games. On top of it, winning the Premier League title says a lot about how spectacular a season he had. It's been fantastic. He's been Liverpool's best footballer, scoring a lot of goals for Liverpool, and of course, becoming Africa's highest goal scorer in Premier League history. I think that Mo Salah does not just deserve to be on the Ballon d'Or shortlist. He deserves to be in the top 3 or at least in the top 4.
Well, that's the note on which we'll be wrapping up the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Oreku Ampofo.
Reporting from the Takoradi Market Circle,
from the heart of the Upper West Regional Capital,
from the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom,
Reporting from Sunyani, from the Central Business District of Navrongo.
The parliamentarians are on recess.
This is where it all unfolds. The moments that potentially alters the course of our nation and the world. These are the individuals we recognize, the voices we amplify, who appears on screen and who contributes behind the scenes. With professionalism at our core, we bring you news you can trust. Impact journalism that makes a difference. This illustrates how diverse perspectives enhance our strength and reinforces our mission. This is 3 News. Leaders in breaking news, exclusive interviews, facts and analysis on TV, radio, online and digital. 3 News, first in news.
The public. Acclaimed actor and Deputy Food and Agriculture Minister John Dumelo laid a flower in honor of the victims of the crash.
Everybody knows yesterday was Black Wednesday. The 8 men died in the line of duty. It could have happened to anyone. And of course, we're all devastated, and so it's a sad day. And everybody is always in a hurry to be the first to share it. And I think sometimes, there are some things you can share. There are some things you can be the first to talk about, but not scenes like this. Because imagine what the family is going through what they went through when they saw it on social media, and so it can be very heartbreaking. And so, look, I would advise people not to be sharing such kind of sensitive content and try and be the hero when it comes to news breaking.
He backed calls for a swift investigation to ascertain the cause of the crash.
I think investigations should commence, and so when that kind of investigation commences, then we'll be able to ascertain the real cause of what happened. And like I said, this could have happened to anyone. The president uses this helicopter, everybody uses it, private citizens use it sometimes. It could have happened to anyone. And so when the investigation starts, I think we should, and the report finally comes out, those who are responsible should definitely report to book.
Media personality and Deputy CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Gilbert Abeku, agrees in a state of shock and disbelief.
Dr. Mani Boama is my brother from Kofredia. Brother, we grew up together, and today we found ourselves in politics. He has been a leader in politics before I joined, so I look up to him, a very deep analytical person, and draw a lot of inspiration from him. I didn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it.
He prayed for divine strength for the bereaved families.
And I'm thinking about his mother that I know. He's the only child of his mom. So I'm just reflecting, going through how is she feeling? Knowing how close he was with the mother. So it's a big loss. And I don't know where this is coming from. Say, God, have mercy upon us.
Time now for international news.
6 people have been killed in a light aircraft belonging to a medical charity crash in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. According to a local official, Charity Army flying doctors said the Cessna plane took off from Wilson Airport on Thursday afternoon and was en route to Hargeisa in Somalia when it crashed and burst into flames at a residential building in Nairobi's Githurai area. Kiambu County Commissioner Henry Wafula said 6 people on the plane were killed, including doctors, nurses and the pilot, as well as another 2 people on the ground, while 2 others were seriously injured. Investigators have been dispatched to the scene of the crash to establish its cause. U.S. President Donald
Well, on that note, we bring the bulletin to an end, but just a quick reminder that at 9 p.m., His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will be addressing the country, so you do want to make a date. Meanwhile, Ghana Tonight will also be starting at 9 p.m. certainly because of that, so we can get to know exactly what the president has to say. So do make a date and be on TV3. I am Martin Asiedu-Dartey.
And I am Ayisha Yakubu. Good evening.